everyone, Saki here and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a very special video. Yes, today is going to be a handbag review video, but it's going to be so much more than that because in today's video I'm going to be talking about my Christian Dior Lady Dior in the medium size, but I'm also going to be doing a couple more things as well. So I actually bought this from a consignment store called What Comes Around Goes Around New York City. So I'm going to be giving them a little bit of a review, but then I'm also going to be talking a little bit about how to authenticate a Dior bag because like I said, I did buy this one secondhand and I did go through a little bit of a panic because I wasn't sure if my bag was authentic or not. It was crazy. So I did a lot of research about how to authenticate Dior. I'm not a professional, so what I say in this video, it doesn't always mean that you're authenticating a bag correctly, but I will be sharing with you a few tips. And then at the very end of the video, I will also be telling you how you can authenticate your handbags through professionals and what companies I've used in the past and currently use and trust. So if you're interested in any of those things, please stick around. First of all, I just wanted to say welcome to any new people who are watching. If you've stumbled onto my channel because you are interested in this bag review, hello, my name is Saki. I make videos every single week. I really like cute and girly fashion, and I'm also really into handbags, as you can tell from the background and from the subject of this video. So if you like any of the things that you are seeing in this video, and if you like me or my aesthetic or anything, please have a look around my channel and please subscribe to my channel as well if you can. Alright, let's get started with the handbag review. So today's video is probably going to be really long, so I'll actually write in the description below every single thing that I'm going to be talking about along with timestamps so that if you are interested in just one specific aspect of this video, that you can just go look at that summary and check the timestamp and go straight to that part that you want to watch, because I want to kind of have these videos as like a reference on YouTube, in the YouTube world, in the YouTube and handbag community. So if that anybody is interested in any of these topics and this bag, they can just have another video to reference, because I know that when I'm looking at a handbag, I love to watch every single video there is about it. And since I have this handbag and I really love it, I just thought that I had to make a video. So let's start this video off by doing a quick review. So this is the bag that I have right here. Let me actually take this charm off. I usually keep this charm on it because I think it's really adorable. I just got this little fluffy poof ball from Amazon, and then I got this sparkly little horse. It's a Swarovski crystal horse, and I actually got it from LindeSs, who is a YouTuber here. And yeah, so here's the bag plain. I have mine in pink lambskin with silver hardware, and like I said, I got this handbag secondhand, so it is from 2004, so it is 14 years old. And spoiler alert, it held up so well. I mean, this bag is like pretty much in immaculate condition for being 14 years old. As always, we will start with the dimensions of the bag. This bag is 10 inches in width, 8 inches in height, and 4.75 inches across. It features these little handles that actually do fall down like this, so they don't just stand up all the time. And then there is silver hardware like I mentioned before, and here are the little Dior charms on the front. There's just a D-I-O-R for Dior, and then of course there is this leather part right here next to the O. And on the back there is no pocket. It's just got this beautiful canage pattern quilting all across the bag. And it does come with a removable shoulder strap. The bag is basically one compartment which has a zipper pull, and once you open the bag, mine is fabric lined with this also canage quilted pattern, and there is just one little zipper pocket in the back along with this leather tab that has the Christian Dior logo. And mine did come with an authenticity card, and this is what the Christian Dior authenticity card looks like, and this is the front. So I actually won't go into the history of this bag, but this is one of the things that I love most about it, is that there is a really rich history behind this brand, behind this bag. However, if you are interested in the history, there is a really great video here on YouTube already made by this wonderful woman called Rachiella. I think that's how you call her name. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering it, but she did do a very long detailed video about the history of this bag, and I thought it was super interesting. So if you want to go check out that video, I will leave it linked down below. But now that we got the basics out of the way, I will talk about the pros. Obviously, the first pro, and the one thing that I always talk about with my handbags, is how much it can hold. I know that I say that in all my reviews, but this handbag can hold so many things, and it's really surprising how many things that it can hold. So it's a medium-sized handbag. This is in the medium size. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I actually think that this is like comparable to maybe the Chanel Jumbo in terms of like how much it can hold. I actually think that it can hold more than the Chanel Jumbo, which, you know, that's the large size of Chanel, and this is the medium size of Dior, so I think that's pretty incredible. It is just like this really boxy shape, so you can kind of see how it can hold a bunch of stuff. Like, it can hold a full-size water bottle, it can hold an iPad, like it can hold so many things. I think this is one of those bags that like you're really surprised at how much it can really hold for like how big it is, because it doesn't look that big on my frame, I think. The next pro that I have is specifically for this bag, but I think that this leather is actually really durable. Like I said, this is from 2004, so it's 14 years old already, and the lambskin on this is absolutely immaculate. Like, there's only a couple of details here and there, you know, just like basic signs of corner wear, which I will show you. like here. See, I'm not even sure if you can see it on the camera because it's so light, but there's a little bit of wear right there. And this one you can probably see a little bit better, but there's a little bit of wear just at the corners on the top. There you go. So you can kind of see that maybe. And of course there is a little bit of wear on the handles, but that is to be expected because this is where you grab the bag. But other than that, I have carried this bag so much. I've even like hit it against things on accident sometimes, and honestly this bag is so freaking durable. So I have a bunch of Chanel bags that are in lambskin and they are not as durable. Like whenever I take out my Chanel Jumbo, I kind of like have a heart attack a little bit because I just got a scratch on it, like on the very front as well, and it literally made me die a little bit, so I haven't really carried the bag since. I don't know why, but I just find it way more durable. The next thing that I love about this bag is the versatility. So obviously you can wear it as like a handheld bag like this, or you can wear it on the crook of your arm, or if you have the shoulder strap on, you can wear it on your shoulder. So there's a lot of different ways that you can wear it, but also I think that this is a great bag to transition from day to night. So it's actually a really great size if you want to use it as a day bag because like I said, it can hold so much. But if you want to transition to the evening, I think that it looks really great as well because it's not too large and not too bulky. And because of like the handheld, I think that it makes it really formal looking. So maybe if you like take off the strap and you just kind of like carry it like this and you have heels on, I just think that would look really, really great and it'll be so perfect for an evening event. The next pro is actually the handles. So I cannot begin to describe how satisfying these handles are. Like you can kind of hear them as they like flop around, but that noise to me is just like so super satisfying, and these handles are so comfortable to grab. So they've got this shape where they are like a little bit curved on the like outsides, and then on the insides they're completely flat. So when you hold it like this, it's just very, very comfortable. You have like a secure grip on it, and honestly, you cannot understand like the joy that I have when I'm picking up these handles until you've held one yourself, I think. Because there's literally no rhyme or reason for why I love these handles so much. It's just once you grab it and you feel it and you feel how sturdy and great they are, you'll understand. The last pro that I have is that this bag is classic and timeless. So I think that this is comparable to the Chanel Jumbo or the Chanel, you know, classic flaps, just in terms of the fact that they are classic bags, and I think that they will never go out of style. Of course, they aren't as popular as the Chanel bags, and they aren't as worn or recognized or well known as the Chanel bags, but I do think that this bag, since it's been around for so long, is very classic and timeless, and I don't think it will ever go out of style, just because Dior is one of those, you know, fashion houses that has a lot of history and that did like revolutionize the fashion industry in France and all over the world. So I really don't think that this will ever go out of style. I also just personally have been really, really loving Christian Dior lately because I've been researching a ton about him and his fashion house, and there's actually a Christian Dior exhibit in town right now, and I'm going to go see it next week, so that's kind of why I've been doing a bunch of research on it. But just knowing all those things about the fashion house and about this bag, it just made me fall in love, like head over heels in love with the brand. Even though I don't have many things from the brand, I mean, I only have this one bag, I'm looking to purchase more stuff just because I love it so much. Like I love the history, I love everything about it, so that is definitely a pro in my opinion. Alright, next we will talk about the cons of the bag. So in my opinion, there aren't very many cons because I love this bag so much. However, we will talk about some of the things that everybody talks about just because they are there. Whether you like it or not, they are there. So the first thing that we gotta talk about is the zipper. So if you've ever watched a Dior handbag review video, you know that this zipper is the thing that people complain about the most. So because the zipper kind of like goes in the middle like this, there isn't much room or give when you're opening the bag. So to open the bag, you kind of have to like pull it like this and, you know, slip your hand in. And sometimes it can be like a little bit annoying if you're like grabbing out big things or if you have to slip something in there really fast. However, this isn't a problem for me, I think, because mine is like kind of vintage. It is 14 years old, like I said, so the leather has softened up a lot and it actually doesn't take like any effort to pull it open. Whereas I think if you have like a patent one or like just a newer one in general, because the opening is so stiff, you might have a hard time like pulling like this. But honestly, the leather on mine has softened so much that I really don't have a problem with it. But it is something that people find very, very annoying. The second thing that I'll have to mention is the strap. This is a non-adjustable strap. Even though I really, really love the length, it can't go crossbody. You can only wear it on the shoulder. I don't think that even if you're like 5 foot or like really petite that it could go crossbody, just because it is very, very short. The next con that I could think of is the boxy shape that it has. So a lot of people find this to be annoying because if it's on your body, you're kind of like bumping into things because it is so wide on the base and it is so like boxy and pointy. So if you feel like you need something to like hug your body a little bit more, this is probably not the bag for you, just because it is like very protruding like as you can kind of tell right here, and you will kind of see that in my mod shots as well. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend this if you need something like close to your body and you don't want to risk like it, you know, kind of bumping into other things. And then the final con that I have is the resale value. So I believe that this bag is about $4,500 retail right now, but actually these bags resell for very, very low. So I've seen this bag, like this specific bag in this colorway from this year, literally go on the secondhand market for like $1,500. I actually bought mine for a little bit over $2,000, which I'm kind of annoyed at because I didn't realize that they were going for so low. Otherwise I would have obviously bought a cheaper bag. But I mean, that also has to do with the fact that this bag is 14 years old, and it kind of has to do with the condition as well. Like mine is in really great condition, but some of the like cheaper bags maybe like are misshapen or, you know, have cosmetic damage or whatever. But honestly, these bags do not resell for very well. I think like the smaller bags do, just because smaller bags are on trend right now. But like I found a large one that I'm thinking about getting literally selling for $1,000, whereas if you bought it brand new, the retail price is like $4,000 to $5,000 for the large one. So it's being resold for a quarter of their price. I mean, you can do the math on that, but it's not very great. All right, next I wanted to talk about the place that I actually bought this bag from. So I bought this bag from a store called What Comes Around Goes Around New York City. They are a very popular consignment store based in New York City, obviously, and I believe in New York they do have like a physical store as well, and they also resell online. So this is my very first experience with them. I have never ever bought anything from them before. I actually only found out about them because I was researching handbags and I saw that they had a lot of handbags that I really wanted, including this Lady Dior. The website is really awesome because it's very clean and they do have a lot of information. However, what I didn't like about it is that the pictures were really, really unclear. So all the pictures look really professional, but they do it in like really professional lighting and you kind of can't tell like the details of like the bag, and they don't give you like every single angle of the bag. Like if you're used to shopping on like Fashion File or Yugi's Closet, like they do inside, outside, corner, back. Like they literally get the bag from every single corner that you could possibly want it in. But with What Comes Around Goes Around New York, they literally only had like maybe 5 photos and you were supposed to, you know, be able to tell the condition of the bag from there. I kind of fell into this a little bit because I really couldn't tell like anything about the hardware like from the photos, and when it arrived to me, the hardware was like really, really tarnished or like just really dirty, and I didn't know if I could fix it or not. And I will insert some pictures over here like to what I'm talking about, but honestly you couldn't even tell that on the pictures on the website because they were just so blown out from the light, and that kind of made me a little bit upset just because, you know, if you're buying something secondhand for such an expensive price, you want to kind of see detailed pictures of it and know everything about it beforehand. So the fact that I didn't know that the hardware wasn't in great condition really just like made me annoyed. However, I did reach out to What Comes Around Goes Around New York, and their customer service was really, really awesome. I sent them the pictures, I told them what happened, and they actually, you know, offered me like 1 to, you know, return the entire bag and get it refunded, or 2, they offered like if I went to, you know, a jewelry polisher, if I had the handbag treated, they offered to like pay me back for any services that I would have on the bag. So that was really, really awesome, and I wasn't expecting that, so that was really cool of them. However, I did manage to clean the hardware myself. I just used like some home remedies for like cleaning silver. If you want a more detailed video about that, I can totally do it, but it's basically baking soda and water is what I used. So I didn't end up needing like that refund, and I didn't really need them to pay me back for that. So case closed, that was the end of that. So I guess overall I did enjoy my experience with them. If I had any tips for them, I would recommend them to take a couple more photos and, you know, just have their lighting be not so bright. But you know, that's just my opinion. Oh, and I forgot to mention another great thing about them is that they do have a 14-day return policy. So once you receive your bag, if you don't remove any of the tags, you can return it within 14 days for a full refund, which I really appreciate because a lot of consignment stores actually don't do that. All right, now on to my story time. So I actually thought my bag was fake when it arrived, and here are the reasons why. So prior to purchasing this bag, I had watched a ton of videos about Dior and how there are like a lot of super fakes out there, and what a super fake is just like a really, really like good replica of a bag, and apparently there's a lot floating around out there, especially for Dior. So I kind of already like panicked when I, you know, bought the bag, but I did a little bit more research on What Comes Around Goes Around New York City, and they seem to be a really, really reputable, you know, consignment store. So I decided to go for it anyway, but then when the bag arrived to me, literally just panic, like sheer panic set in, because so the first thing that was weird is that I tried to go back to the website to compare the pictures like of the ones that they had listed on the website to like the real thing, and they had already deleted the listing, which is super strange because like Fashion File and Yugi's Closet and the Real don't delete listings after they sold, you know, handbags. At least I don't think so for like a while, you know, like a while after they sold it they might delete it. But this listing literally got deleted like 2 days after I received the bag. So I thought that was really strange because I wanted to compare like a couple of things that I thought were a little bit weird. Like they didn't mention the cornerware and they didn't mention the hardware, so I just wanted to make sure, you know, and see that they actually didn't mention it, but the listing was gone. So the panic started from there. Then I was freaking myself out a little bit more because I was trying to authenticate it myself. So here's just my quick tip. Like if you want to authenticate a handbag, don't try and do it yourself if you're not like super confident. I mean, I know that I'm going to be pointing out a couple of things in this video, but honestly, seek a professional if you're really unsure, because it'll kind of just drive you more crazy if you know, think that your handbag is fake and you're trying to do it yourself. But a couple of the things that I noticed are the bag charm actually says Christian Dior Paris. You can see it in the silver foil, so it says Christian Dior Paris. So if you look at the bags nowadays, it doesn't actually have the word Paris. All it says is Christian Dior on the back. Oh, and another thing is that I compared my bag to like literally every single bag that I could find from this year. It was kind of hard because, you know, you can't search for the year and bags don't pop up like all the time, but Yugi's Closet actually does keep like a reference of all their old listings, like the sold bags. So I actually found a bunch of bags from 2004 that were in this pink leather and silver hardware from their website, and I just went through all the pictures, literally comparing every single detail, and that's when I started to notice these things. So there was that thing about the tag, and then, oh man, there's no way that I can show you on camera, but I will insert a picture. My serial number is really weird compared to other serial numbers. So there's like specific spacing and specific like dashes that Dior uses in their serial codes, but mine is different and the dash is in a different place. So like I said, I'll insert pictures here, but I was freaking the frick out about that because I didn't know what that meant. Like I didn't know that like sometimes they had changed it. I was like freaking out, and especially after seeing those other 2004 bags like on Yugi's Closet that had like the normal serial number, I was just like, I was flipping out. Third thing that I noticed is that mine has got this like canage patterned like silver gray lining, and on the bags on Yuki's Closet, again, there were actually 2 of them, I believe. They actually all had a pink lining with the Dior monogram, like the Dior Trotter print. So that was the last thing that made me question my bag and be like, what is going on? Because what comes around goes around New York is apparently like a really reputable store, so I was like really afraid that they sold me a fake. And yeah, basically after this I just needed to seek professional help. Let me quickly mention a couple of other things that people look for though. So the stitching should always be the same color as the bag. In some fakes the stitching will actually be like a different color. As you can see, mine is the same color of the bag, and the stitching is really like fine, I guess. Like a lot of the stitching on fake bags will be like a little bit larger. And another thing is that these charms should only be able to move like back and forth like this. They aren't just like free falling on the handles, they actually are stagnant and they just move from side to side like this. Same with the handles. The handles don't ever flop down unless you have like a really old bag, I believe that those do flop down. So they don't flop down all the way, and you can only move the handles from side to side like this. So it's not just like, I don't know, free falling, and you can't just like move it like 360 or whatever. Obviously same goes for the back handles. And then other little details of the bag is that there is a little CD right there, and then on the backs there are just these like fake screws. So on some fake bags, I guess, there might be like real screws, but the ones on the real bags are actually just an imprint of screws. Another thing that I've seen on a lot of fake bags is that the charm is different. So the pulley for the zip is like this, and it's actually got 3 loops and then like this big oval. But yeah, a lot of fake bags will actually just have the 1 loop or just 2 loops, but it looks like this on a real bag. And then obviously you can check the date code on the inside. Actually, some really old bags don't have date codes, so that might not always apply. And then another thing that I found on a website that was really interesting to me is that the little tab right here, like the leather tab, apparently on a lot of like real authentic bags, there'll be like 2 different kinds of stitching. So on the part of the tab that goes like this, there'll be 1 color of stitching, and then on the top part that goes like this, there'll be another another color of stitching. So mine is like that, but I don't know if all of the bags are like that, but that is another thing that I've found when I've been researching that, you know, indicates an authentic bag. And that's all I could think of for now. And obviously another big thing is to, you know, compare fonts. I've noticed on a lot of fake bags that the font is really terrible and it doesn't look like the real thing at all. So you just kind of want to look at authentic pictures and, like, you know, see if the fonts match up. Actually, I'm actually like super like obsessed about Christian Dior, so I've been stalking eBay for like every single listing, and I found so many fake bags, like not even fake bags where like I'm like pretentious and I think that they're fake or whatever. I literally have found fake bags on there that don't look real, like, at all. Like, there's so many things wrong with them that, like, you literally have to know nothing about the Dior bag to, like, think that that's real. So I've been, like, reporting fake listings on eBay just because, like, I don't want people to accidentally buy a fake bag, you know? And like I said, these are bags that I'm like 100% sure are fake that I'm reporting. So anyways, after attempting to authenticate my own bag, I literally panicked and I decided to try a couple of, you know, secondhand authentication sites. So the first one that I use is called Authenticate First. They have a website where you just kind of go in and like fill out an order form, and then you like take pictures and you send them into them, and you can either choose like just to get an email back saying if it's authentic or not authentic, or what I think is really cool is that they will actually mail or print you out a certificate if you want one. And what's really cool about that is that you can just add that on later, like if you change your mind or if you do find that your bag is authentic and then you want a certificate of authenticity, they will just like charge you afterwards and send you one after. So I think that's really cool. So I really enjoy using their services. A couple of other services that I do recommend are Real Authenticate, and I know that Hey June has mentioned she uses Etinceler. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce that at all, but I will leave it on the screen and down below. But yeah, I figured since I had already authenticated it twice, I didn't need to do a third one, so I didn't use their website. But those are a couple of different services that you can use. Just make sure that you read over everything, like all of their requirements, like in order to authenticate your handbag, and that you take really clear, clean photos. So no photos on like a blurry camera, like no photos in dark lighting, just really clean photos so they can, like, you know, 100% sure that your handbag is authentic or not. Alright, so I'm gonna attempt to try to show you what fits in my bag kind of like this, but it's kind of really hard to show you guys because the opening is so small. So I've actually been carrying this bag for the past week straight, so I've not emptied it out yet, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I carry in it day to day and what fits. So first of all, I would carry my camera, but currently I'm filming with it, but it does fit in here really nicely with all of these things. Next, I just have my Louis Vuitton Victorine wallet. Of course, I also have my iPhone, and my iPhone is the XS Max. I have a pair of sunglasses in here. I have a bunch of spare papers and pamphlets from when we went to the Christian Dior exhibit at the museum. I have a lotion, my lipstick, my spare lens, some contacts, my sriracha keychain, my hairbrush, and some loose items on the bottom. So clearly it fits a lot. I feel like it is a little bit of a black hole because when you're reaching your hand inside, you can't really, I mean, you can pull it apart to see the things, but once your items are in there, it's kind of like hard to see at the bottom. So you kind of just really have to reach your hand in there and, I don't know, dig around, I guess. But I mean, I've gotten used to it, so it's not that bad. A quick other thing that I wanted to mention that I forgot to when I was talking about fakes, I just wanted to mention that there are feet on the bottom of this one. Some of the older models actually don't have feet, but the feet are actually a really specific rounded shape. So the camera's not quite focusing on it, but it is somewhere like between a cone and a dome. Another thing that I wanted to mention while we have this bag empty is that over time it does lose its structure a little bit. I've noticed a lot of bags have this like sagging on the back. You can kind of tell right here that it does like concave a little bit inwards. But if you have stuff in here and if you're storing it and putting like, you know, air paper or something inside, I don't think it should be a problem because overall the bag looks really nice. It's just sometimes it looks a little bit caved in if I don't have anything inside. I also wanted to show you a couple of things that will fit inside. So here I have a B6 notebook. It will fit inside, but you have to kind of turn it on its side and then push it down. But as you can see, it does fit inside there. Another thing that I always like to see if it fits is a mini iPad. So here I have my mini iPad. And it does fit. You have to turn it on the side as well and stick it in, but it also does fit. And since the mini iPad is so small and the base of the bottom is really, really large, I mean, the whole thing is pretty large. You can see that you can fit a ton more things in there. Like, I think I could fit everything that I was carrying before, you know, plus my mini iPad. So it is very, very spacious. Alright, lastly, I just wanted to show you quickly how this fit on my frame. So just for reference, I am about 5'3". So this is how it looks like if I carry a top handle. As you can see, it is a nice medium-sized bag. I don't think it's too big for my frame. Then of course you can also carry it on the crook of your arm like this. I typically really like to carry it either top handle or a crook of arm because I just think that looks really elegant and ladylike. This is how it looks like on me if I'm carrying it on my shoulder, like a little bit below my hip bone. So my hip is right here and then it kind of falls a little bit below that. It is very, very comfortable as a shoulder bag. Some people will say that these handles kind of get in the way, but I don't think that's the case. And I think it's very, very comfortable like this. It doesn't dig into me at all or anything. And it is still easy for me to access my items from the top if I just, you know, kind of dip my hand in like that. And like I mentioned before, this strap is not long enough to go crossbody, but I will show you how it looks if you try. So if you try to go crossbody, it kind of looks like this. And the handles like go up straight to my boob. It is very, very uncomfortable like this, and I would never ever wear it this way. I just don't think that this is cute, like, at all. Alright, that was all for my video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think about this handbag and what you think, you know, about like fakes and stuff like that. Like, I would really love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any services to recommend, like where you authenticate bags or whatever, please let me know down below as well, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to hear about it. If you like this video, please also give me a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you did like it, I would love to have you back here. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry this is a long video, but I hope that you enjoyed it anyway. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye!